Whatever it takes to get you the compensation you deserve. At Wedemark Keith, it's more to us. It's personal.
Feels good to be home.
Right now at your local Ashley, get a king mattress for the price of a queen, or get 0% interest until 2028 on top mattress brands. Plus bed gear, pillows, and mattress protectors are buy one, get one half off, only at Ashley.
Local Sky 3, bringing you the big local news from Unique Views.
We all know Chattanooga is a beautiful place to live and work, but part of what makes it so beautiful is the city's focus on reusing and reclaiming buildings and land for new use. That certainly has been the case at Montague Park, where the gorgeous sculpture fields have drawn locals and tourists alike in recent years. Brian Smith is back on the show with Chattanooga Parks and Outdoors, and he is here with Kim Adams, who is a proud member of on the board of the sculpture fields. Y'all have an unveiling happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
That kind of does just that, right? It's a new purpose for the area.
Exactly. This is a 47-acre park that has been well known for the sculpture fields over the last several years, but also soccer fields and rugby, but it's also had a transition for well over 100 years, from softball fields to even a landfill at one time. And now we're trying to really bridge all this together to really have this park elevated to the purpose that it's supposed to be used for, a park for everybody, for the entire community. And we've been working with some architects from Reed Hildebrand and HK, and they've been kind of designing and working with the sculpture fields and Chattanooga Football Club Foundation to really put together a park that's going to bridge it all, connect everything, and open it up for everybody. And this vision is going to be amazing, and that's what we're unveiling tomorrow night to the public.
Vision has been kind of a part of the sculpture fields from the very beginning. There's a bit of a romance to the story, the way I understand it. John Henry was on, I don't know, I'll make this up and say 6 or 7 years ago even. And he talked though about, as I remember it, he lived right there, didn't he, Kim?
He did. He lived across the railroad tracks that are along, I believe, the north side of the park. And as the story goes, one day he was talking to the mayor of Chattanooga,
Bob Corker at the time.
Bob Corker, and said, "Bob, what are you going to do with Montague Park?" And Bob looks at him and says, "We're not really sure what we're going to do with Montague Park." And so John says, "Give it to me. I'll make it an international sculpture museum."
And that's what he did.
And that's how it started.
And so if you are kind of new to Chattanooga, or if you've just not known the story, I used to drive, before it became what it is, my husband used to work at Box 61. Which is
right across the street.
Right across the street. So we used to go, and they would turn on, maybe is it Polk Street? And I will admit to you, I would kind of lock my car doors with my daughter in the back seat. It was a very different type of scenery then, but I was always fascinated at what Montague Park was, because it's just this oasis right there in the middle of the city. But it was once upon a time just kind of the toss-away land, quite literally, and you couldn't build on it, right?
So, and we've done, it used to be Brownfield at one time too, and when you go to our website too, MontaguePark.com, and even the sculpture fields, we'll touch on it sometimes too. But yeah, it has been, that landfill, but it's been, capped off. We worked on that. We worked with T-Deck and everything to make sure that everything is able to be built on and safe. And so that part's done. And now, you drive by and you think, well, what can we do? We surveyed public. We've talked with the sculpture fields and the Chattanooga Football Club Foundation. And like one of the biggest things was, more shade. And there's a big kind of a gap in between the fields and the sculpture fields, that just unused land. What can we do with that? And what about bringing in maybe a market there? Because we're such a diverse area too, from one side of the road to the other side. And if we can make maybe a market in the middle and something for families to enjoy.
And it's a bit of a food desert in that area too, I
exactly.
think. Yeah.
And so all those sort of came together to put this vision together and say, now let's make this the greatest park in Chattanooga and Tennessee. Why not?
So I kind of casually mentioned like Central Park, and y'all both kind of sat up.
Yeah.
That's sort of the idea, Kim? That's what you're hoping for?
We think we are a unique park, basically, in the nation. And so I think we need to highlight that. And I think that this project that's been going on for a long time, actually, we've been part of it. It started almost a year ago, where the city approached us and said, would you consider working together with us to enhance the park? And our mission statement given to us by John Henry says that, we are a sculpture park in the city of Chattanooga of the highest quality international scope, and lasting value to the city and the region. So that is in alignment with what the city is pushing for right now. And the art in there is amazing. And whenever we have people that visit the city, they come there, once they find out about us and they come there, they're like, unbelievable.
Yeah.
They have no idea that it even existed there.
But one of the strengths of Chattanooga is that I think we are the scenic city, so for the surrounding mountains that we can't claim credit for, but art is embedded everywhere you go here. So to make Montague Park and the sculpture fields more accessible on a frequent basis for people, it just seeps into your conscience without you even realizing it.
Right, and the community is different. It's changing, and we need to change with it and support the community.
Yeah.
And that's part of what this project's going to do. It's going to give us the connection out into the community that I feel we need to strengthen. And so, thank gosh, the city and CFC and everyone came together. It really is a community-driven project.
So the idea is to go to that beautiful space tomorrow evening to see what the unveiling is going to look like?
So tomorrow night, I know we got the big question mark there because we don't want to give it away just yet, but yes, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, we're going to hear from the architects, and Mayor Kelly will be there, and Scott Martin with Chattanooga Parks and Outdoors, and all of our partners are going to come together, and we're going to unveil this plan. And there's going to be stations kind of put around the park here that folks can look at and see what's going to go here or how it's going to look here. And not only that, we got refreshments, all this starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, and then we're going to have the Chattanooga Fire Brigade that's going to be out there and doing, tossing around the fire and everything. They'll probably get on to me for saying that incorrectly, but tossing the fire around. And then even also the Chattanooga Fire Department is going to have a ladder truck there where you can actually be lifted up to be able to see the park in its entirety from above. But it's really a chance to kind of see what this vision is. And we've kind of mentioned Central Park or Piedmont Park or Gateway Park because we have beautiful river parks, but now this is really a chance to take this park, and a very large one too, and move away from just the river and into another part of town that's very important as well.
Right.
Almost a central part of town. And as Kim mentioned, Main Street is changing. It's much more active than it was years ago.
South Side.
And connecting the neighborhoods of Ridgedale and some of the other neighborhoods there with new greenways and everything. So it truly is going to be everybody's park, and that's one thing that's going to help elevate the sculpture fields and sports and markets and everything.
Okay, so go and see what the grand unveiling is going to look like. Go for that reason. Also go to take in the beauty of that sculpture. As Kim she kind of brushed over it because she knows it so well. But John Henry, in case you don't know who he was world renowned for his art. And he then knew all the players who came begging for a spot on that land to display their pieces.
We have 53 for you to enjoy. 53 sculptures.
I was going to say, even if you don't come tomorrow night, you can go any day. The park is open now.
Yeah.
Free to the public.
Quite literally, they turn artists away because they don't quite meet the criteria. So thank you both so much. I'm excited
for having
to see
us.
what it's going to be.
It's awesome.
Come tomorrow and you'll find out.
You got 4 days, and 4 days only to save like never before. During the 4-day super sale at Furniture Row. That's 4 days to save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, plus no interest until January 2028. But hurry, the 4-day super sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
I applied for Social Security disability benefits, filled out